What is up, everybody? Renfail here. Hopefully, you're doing well. I have been requested to do a build guide for my Rogue Duelist. I'm currently in the middle of my second playthrough on my mage, but I jumped back into my point of no return save with the Rogue character that I did through the first live stream series, if you happen to catch that. And we're going to dive in today and talk a little bit about the skills that I took, why I took them, the companions that I used alongside there, and the specifically the runes that I used, or the one rune I should say that I used primarily because it was a big boon to me. So let's take a look first and foremost at the skill guide here. This is before I'm level 50. I've got essentially 3 slots left here that are empty, but I filled these up through the course of going through to the end of the game. But because they're at the point of no return save, you can't see that here. Um, but I went full sustain and then Antivan Crow into the duelist specialization, and I essentially just maxed all of these out, and I went up to the left here um, the for riposte and powerful rebuttal. I think that this, for me personally, it was super fun. A little bit squishy, but I got enough stuff out of the sustain line for counterattacks and defensive abilities that by the time I got to around level, I want to say 35, 30, 35 is when I really started to feel like it was coming together. I did feel kind of squishy for the first 30 levels. I think if I had to go back and do it again, I would probably take the skills in a different way, but I would still fill up sustain and the Antivan Crow line for sure. The Duelist for me was super cool. So let's talk about the skills that I used in particular and the combos because those are going to help you kind of get an idea of how you might want to spec in terms of which abilities you're going to be taking first down the road. So um, we can bring this up here, take a look. I've got Toxic Dash, Pilfer, and Lightning Flask. And then I chose to, well, actually, it's probably better if I show it from the other menu because, yeah, reasons. So they're not great out here. Toxic Dash. This is a fun ability. So essentially, you dash to your target to land a deadly blow, and you apply necrosis. Now, because of the Antivan Crow abilities and a bunch of the stuff I took in the skill lines between that and the sustain, when I do stuff like this, it applies to everybody. It's a big area effect, and I also have additional stuff from the skill lines, which also apply bleeding to everybody in the range, in the area. So when I'm doing it against one target, it's not just doing it against one target, it's doing it against multiple targets and also applying bleed stacks, which is freaking amazing. And then, like, I have this particular weapon. I should not have backed out of that menu, guys. Um, this weapon right here, which deals fire damage, necrotic damage, electric damage, and cold damage, which is just an amazing weapon to have. And then I use the Proving Steel, which gives me 20% charge attack damage. I get immovable on every third charge attack and generates 20% momentum when I have a movable. And when I have a movable, I no longer lose momentum when hit, which is a big deal if you're in the thick of a fight and you've got like 20 mobs hitting you. To be able to not lose momentum is a big deal. So that worked very well for me. I also prioritized the Golden Howless Sash. I did not get the legendary version of the belt, and I kind of wished I would have found it, but I didn't manage to find that through my playthrough. I wasn't trying to completionist playthrough because I would have gotten an additional 50% invulnerability duration. But this is the belt that I preferred because it gives you invulnerability. So when you start taking a bunch of hits, you just pop this potion, you're invulnerable. And then when you get ranked up to the Epic Edition, you get deflect on potion use, which is just totally useful. Um, this is Pilfer is one of the coolest abilities I think for the rogue because it not only is a detonator, but it swipes a potion when you hit the target. So this is like an instant heal. It's essentially you hit the mob, steal a potion, apply a bleed on the hit, and then the potion is automatically consumed. So this is essentially like you might have 4 or 5 potions, however many potions you've got. This allows you to have an instant heal without actually burning up one of your potions. Um, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ability. In terms of survivability, and for me, it worked very well. But my favorite ability for my duelist was Lightning Flask. This freaking ability, throw down a flask of bottled lightning that explodes, unleashing a storm of pain on nearby enemies. Deals damage in a large area upon impact while creating an aura that deals electric damage and applies shock to nearby enemies. And then I have Murder of Crows for my um, um, uh, ultimate ability, which allows you to rapidly do damage in an area effect. All of this is made super, super, super potent by this rune right here, Vivify. This is the most powerful rune that you're going to find for your rogue. And I think it's the most powerful rune in my mind for any DPS character. Your ability cooldowns are instantly refreshed, and your next ability use is free. And your passive is that you get 10% momentum generation. This is pretty much the only rune I ever used the whole time throughout the game. It is absolutely OP. This essentially, I would just keep it on cooldown, and I would, if I have all of my abilities ready to go, this is how you do the burst damage. You run in to an area, you drop your lightning flask, you turn around, you do your toxic dash, then you drop your pilfer. Then you immediately hit your rune, which refreshes all of your ability cooldowns. Then you hit lightning flask again, which does another stack of massive AoE electrical. And then depending on who you're working with, because you've either got Toxic Dash, which is applies a sundered, or Ability Pilfer, which detonates Overwhelmed. Depending on the character combination you're running with, I really liked this combo right here with Tash and Nev. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Because Tash applies Overwhelm, which I can then detonate with Pilfer, but then over here I can apply Toxic Dash with there, and I can detonate with Icebreaker on Nev. So as soon as I go through the Vivify rune effect for the second time and I drop the AoE, I can immediately pause the combat and then either pick myself as the detonator or myself as the primer with Nev as the detonator while Tash is doing the taunts. This combination of abilities with the that Vivify rune made for an unstoppable rogue experience. I had a lot of fun with this particular build. And I would highly recommend it for anybody out there. I actually had a different weapon for the longest time, just to show you guys, until I found this sword. The weapon that I used before this was this one right here, Cordova's Toothpick. +6 maximum bleeding stacks. It does very low base damage, but all hits with this weapon apply bleeding. So I would just stack bleeds on top of everybody, and I would just run around the battlefield bleeding everybody to death. It was absolutely amazing. But once I found this one, the added momentum was just way too cool, and the immovable as well. So um, in my mind, obviously some of this stuff you're not going to find until later on in the game. If I had to prioritize abilities, I would say that going up through the sustain line is the most important, because you're going to start off with, I mean, Static Strikes is okay. I got rid of it as soon as I could, but go up through the sustain line first, because Pilfer is a huge, huge, huge ability to give you that essentially a life tap, a free heal, and then get up to Lightning Flask as quickly as you can. Once you've got those two abilities in your repertoire, you can go over and start working your way over to the Duelist line and pick up Toxic Dash, which I just think is really useful. But I would definitely recommend that you focus on the sustain line first because of the defensives and the survivability, and then start working your way over in through Antive and Crow, and then eventually you'll just max everything out as you play the game up to max level 50. So um, that is my Rogue Duelist build guide. Hopefully that helps. For those of you who are looking to build something similar, if you didn't get a chance to see this character in action, the first playthrough I did was entirely live streamed. It took me 76 hours to beat the game. I did not do a completionist journey. And you can watch those live streams to see combat and everything else with this character. So hopefully that helps. If you'd like to learn more, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. I'm continuing to play this game up until Stalker 2 drops on the 20th of November. Right now I'm doing a mage playthrough for the second playthrough, so you can check out those streams as well. And there's a link down below for the playlist where you can find all sorts of other guides and discussion videos, my reviews, and all the other stuff. Plus, there's about 7,000 other videos on the channel if you want to check out the other games that I play. So, see you in the next one. Stay safe. Happy gaming, everybody.